for his political enemies. President Trump has never been shy about calling for his political enemies to be investigated, charged with crimes, and of course, locked up.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
You know what the funny thing is? Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you can say I'm biased towards the Democratic Party or whatever. You can say whatever you want, but all those hysterical libs that were crying, right? Like, all those people that were crying about Donald Trump winning the presidency, like, they were right. He was dog shit. Like, 250,000 Americans have died directly as a consequence of his negligence on COVID. Okay? There's, like, babies being ripped away from their fucking families at the border as a deterrent strategy. Like, they were literally right to cry. White supremacy is more emboldened than it has ever been, perhaps in the history of the United States. Maybe with the exception of, like, the march on Madison Square Garden leading up to World War II, when 30,000 Nazis in America said, we want to side and ally with Germany. What are we doing? This is a Nazi nation, and this should always be a Nazi nation in the United States, just like, and we should be aligning with Germany. Strongest it's ever been since the 30s. Why are people throwing up question marks? You didn't know that this is a very famous thing that happened. There was a famous Nazi demonstration in Madison Square Garden with 30,000 Nazis. Anyway. Okay, I'll pull up Jamie, pull that shit up. (1939) Madison Square Garden Nazi rally. They, of course, utilized images like this. They said they were pro-American. And it was attended by, more than 20,000. It's not 30. More than 20,000 people attended the rally organized by the German-American Bund. Pro-Americanism rally. If you played BioShock, I think it was BioShock 4, maybe? Here.
History. Gather for a rally at an indoor arena. But this isn't Nuremberg or Berlin.
Fake news, brother. It's got to be fake, brother. And if this is Demon Rats made this up.
This is Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Yeah, BioShock Infinite.
You all have heard of me through the Jewish-controlled press.
And the man speaking isn't a member of Adolf Hitler's inner circle. He's Fritz Julius Kuhn.
Anyway, so, you know, to those of you who say, like, oh, dude, America's not fucking racist. What do you mean, brother? Like, no, there were some people who definitely wanted to. There were some people who thought there were very fine people on one side, but not necessarily the other side. The side that you think. They thought, you know, the Nazi side was very cool and very good. So yeah, this is unrelated to the talking point that I was going to get to. My point was that those people who were crying about Donald Trump becoming president were right. Their tears were not in vain. They were reasonable tears to shed. Whereas I do believe that the Republicans who are crying now about, like, the election being stolen, well, they're being ridiculous because the Democratic Party is completely incompetent. Like, they were never going to pass policy that made it, like, illegal to be white, or, I don't know, bimbify, like, force feminize your children or some shit like that. That's, of course, like, psychotic panics. But like, even the other fears that you might have, like, what is the What are you fearful of, like the Green New Deal passing or something? It's just never going to happen. Don't worry. Yeah, and also Hillary had won the popular vote too, which is part of the reason why people were upset. Yeah, that video literally looked like a clip from the Man in the High Castle. Yeah, well, almost happened.
But the moment Trump steps down, he loses the special protection from federal criminal indictment that's reserved only for the president. And prosecutors are already sifting through the big pile of evidence that independent legal experts say ranges from questionable to damning. The thing is, if they decide it warrants an indictment, that's not just Trump's problem. It's future President Biden's problem too. He's staking his presidency on healing a divided nation. And if the 70 million people plus who voted for his opponent see their guy getting thrown in the clink, they might not take that well.
Lock them all up.
Biden says the decision will be made by an independent attorney general.
I will not interfere with the Justice Department's judgment of whether or not they think they should pursue the prosecution of anyone that they think has violated the law. But I also
including a former
am not
president.
It depends on what happens.
But a decision not to prosecute in the name of national unity raises a different problem. It puts Trump and any former president above the law. That might encourage future presidents to lean into their worst instincts, break rules, commit crimes. Plenty of former prosecutors, including the vice president-elect, say that any fair-minded official would likely come to the same conclusion on Trump: prosecute.
I believe that they would have no choice and that they should, yes.
But the next attorney general would only have a say in what federal prosecutors do. State prosecutors get to make their own call, including the Manhattan District Attorney, Cy Vance, who's already probing Trump's financial affairs. His prosecutors have fought to the Supreme Court to look at Trump's tax returns. They seem to be going deep into Trump's business history and potential campaign finance issues. Trump's former attorney and fixer, Michael Cohen, has said Trump directed him to make illegal hush money payments to women who say they slept with Trump. Neither the White House nor Trump's company returned requests for comment. Cohen's also claimed that the Trump family business fiddled with the valuations of its assets for insurance and tax purposes. There are also civil cases. E. Jean Carroll, a former magazine columnist, is suing Trump for defamation for denying her allegation that he raped her.
Wait, what? Dean Browning? I'm a black gay guy, and I can personally say that Obama did nothing for me. My life only changed a little bit, and it was for the worse. Everything is so much better under Trump, though. I feel respected, which I never do when Democrats are involved. What? Oh my God, he had a fucking sock account, dude. And he, former Lehigh County Commissioner, proud pro-life, pro-2A. Dude, oh, that's so good. Oh, fuck me. Oh, he posted on Maine. Oh, this is so good. Oh, fuck. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, this is so good. What do I always tell you about Republicans in my chat? I mean, Democrats do this too, to a certain degree, but it's always so funny when at least he didn't say blacks. Because, like, that's usually the quickest way to recognize that someone is, like, lying about being black is like, us blacks. You know what I mean? Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so fucking good. Yeah, as a black man. Oh, that's so fucking tight, dude. That's so tight. Yeah, how do you do, my fellow blacks? He didn't delete it and he kept going? Yeah, it's Reddit r/ as a black man, dude. I love that. Maybe he thinks it'll go away. I don't know. That's pretty funny.
And 1,000 former prosecutors say that former special counsel Robert Mueller's final report presents enough evidence for a federal indictment against Trump for obstruction of justice. Remember, Mueller's team didn't reach a final decision about whether Trump broke the law because it's DOJ policy that a sitting president can't be indicted anyway. This raises speculation that Trump might try to pull a Richard Nixon and resign early, and then get a preemptive pardon from his future former Vice President Mike Pence. But that wouldn't save Trump from the Manhattan prosecutor, who's investigating potential state crimes. Whatever happens, when you ask former prosecutors about this, they say if anyone is going to charge the President of the United States for the first time in our history, the case has got to be airtight.
Will have to be ironclad, because otherwise we'll be playing right into the president's narrative that the Democrats have sought to undermine democracy, not to support it. We're in a really difficult spot because if prosecutors decide to pursue a case against him, they run the risk of falling right into his narrative that this is a witch hunt, that this is people who are after him, who've always been after him. On the other hand, if we don't prosecute him, then we are running the risk of defying this very central principle that no man is above the law.
Trump is still the loudest voice in his party, and he's likely to remain a potent political force for years to come. Even becoming a convicted felon would not, technically speaking, prevent him from running again in 2024. And now that Florida has given convicted felons the right to vote again, he could even vote for himself.
Oh, he deleted it? God damn. Why do leftists such as yourself distance themselves from Russiagate even though we got a bunch of people charged and arrested? Because I think that the liberal side of the news wanted to craft a narrative that kind of allowed the Hillary Clinton campaign to absolve themselves of any responsibility of their horrific electoral defeat. And because of that, they basically just pointed to like even regular Republican agenda items as a consequence of like Vladimir Putin and his outsized influence because he has like compromat, and it was delusional. Like it was completely delusional. Did Russia try to tamper with our elections? Yes, I talked about it before. One of the whistleblowers that actually uncovered it is Reality Winner, and she's in fucking jail still. First documented by The Intercept, for the record. So as I was, yeah, that's a real name. Yeah. As I was saying, there are areas where foreign nations try to tamper with the outcome of our elections. There are certainly areas where this happens. Oh, I'm going to look through all this Axios stuff. It's nowhere near as significant as like what we do, but that doesn't justify it. Obviously, they're just trying to do their best. But what we should be doing instead is protecting our elections from foreign interference. But if you're going to point the finger at like Cambridge Analytica, which basically expanded on psychographic profiling that the Obama campaign utilized in the 2008 election and in 2012 as well, and was widely celebrated for how incredible their targeting was. If you're going to point the finger at Cambridge Analytica and like $3 million worth of ads and psycho Facebook groups that these Russian operatives were to create, then our elections have no integrity whatsoever if they are able to be toppled by a foreign government that has basically the GDP that's smaller than one of our fucking states. Then we have nothing. Full clips here.